He said he can't hear something.
But yeah, soulmates.
No, it's part of the music.
That's cool. I just felt like that was something that was made for people to like convince themselves, like, oh, this is my soulmate.
Wait, are you in your 20s?
No, I'm 31. I'm in my 30s.
Because I feel like there's a certain age bracket now that when you talk to them, they're like, oh, I don't believe in soulmates. I don't believe in this. I don't believe in that anymore. And I'm like, what have you experienced that's made you believe that you'll never find a particular type of love, or you won't be dedicated or loyal to some extent?
I didn't say that because I do believe in that. I believe in comfortability too, though. I believe that you might be comfortable with this person. Now, you won't say, oh, it's love at first sight or soulmate. I mean, those things are just things that's put in our mind from watching the fairy tale movies and, you know, the princess and he finds her and, you know what I mean? I just don't believe in that. I just feel like you get comfortable with somebody and, you know, that you can make them your partner. But as far as soulmates, how many millions of people on the earth? You know what I mean? Like, what if your soulmate is in India somewhere? Like,
billions of people.
Exactly.
I understand that, but I'm also then are you saying that if you find somebody that you're comfortable with, then are you settling? Because you're already in your mind saying there's somebody in India.
How you mean by settling if you're comfortable?
If you're comfortable and compatible.
Do you mean like, okay, do you mean settling by like you might be in a sense of how you feel doing better than that person, or you're at a different position in life than that person may be?
No, like, okay, so I can't travel to India. I might find my person in India, but I can't get. Right. So I can't get out there though. Right. So then I'm dealing with somebody that's close. I might be not financially there. The world might be closed down, timing. Okay. So there's different situations.
So go back to what we were saying with the first thing, with the circumstances that make circumstances.
So then that means that you sell it.
Look what you said. If your love might be in India, but you can't get to India for whatever the reason be, you won't end up with your soulmate that's supposed to be in India. Right?
But he was saying he don't believe in soulmates at all.
I believe that was something that was. Do you believe in soulmates, love? Do you believe in that?
I don't know. That's a tricky thing for me, man. Because it's like I said, it's already we as men on this planet, race just aside, right? Just men in general, we're outnumbered by women by a large margin. Right. If all of us were to marry one woman, there's still double-digit millions of women left on this planet.
That's by itself.
So
that's real.
I'm not gonna go too super deep into none of that, the monogamy concepts and no shit like that. But I just feel like I don't know. Can you meet one person when we on this planet with so many people, right? Mm-hmm. So much to see, so many places we'll probably never travel to, places we'll never go, people we'll never meet. You see what I'm saying? So I don't think that you could meet someone and say it's your soulmate if you've never met. You're never gonna meet everybody. That's just common sense. Out of the people you've met, this is the best relationship. This is the most comfortable. This is the person who gets you the most, who you're most compatible with. But in terms of it being like a soul ties thing, like a soulmate, like I just, I've waited for this my whole life, and then y'all connect and y'all both have like the same just undying love, chemistry, and things like that. You got to miss me with that shit. It is, man. It's YKTV episode 4. I am your host, Self-Made Male, along with my co-host T-Leader Don, 85 the Rialto and Curbside Kyle. Special guest sitting in with us today again are Christian Yee and fellow podcaster Candy J. Also, all the way from the depths of the north side, the nutty north side of St. Louis, ladies and gentlemen. The OG is in the building. Y'all give it up for Northside Road. My pops flew out. You know what I'm saying? Check in with us today, man. Chill out with the episode and everything. Hit them with the hand claps, man. Right. Showing support and everything, man. So finally getting that time to be able to do that. Big ups to Pops for that and everything, man. Y'all came in on, y'all see me just having topics about soulmates, soul ties, Valentine's Day just passing. By the time y'all see this, so that was my take on it. What's y'all plans, man? Because y'all gonna see this on Monday. What are the plans you have for Sunday? What do you got? What you doing? You got anything planned?
Real silent on social media.
Do you
don't see no video.
Do you have a special lady that you doing anything with? Taking home? I mean, because this is the thing. We in COVID, right? What is Valentine's Day like right now for y'all? I'm single. So I don't know what it's like for people who are in relationships or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, have y'all planned anything, or is anything y'all
I got
doing?
a bunch of Valentines, and what I mean by that is, I have a bunch of ladies in my life. My daughter.
No, I don't want to hear that shit.
I'm Santa Claus. I'm bringing gifts to everybody. What? That's real.
He's a phony.
That's real. But
I'm not trying to hear that shit, man. That was a safe answer.
that's real though.
I got a lot of ladies in my life.
This nigga rounded her and slid head first halfway out. I don't want to hear that shit.
Everybody
Fuck that. I didn't like niggas giving me Valentine's cards. I don't want you giving me bullshit, nigga.
Nah, but
Who the fuck? I said this is a lady you taking out. This nigga said.
I got a lot of ladies in my life.
He did my job, the PR answer. You know, I have lots of lovely ladies in my life.
yeah, you got
My mother, my daughter.
Mother, baby's mother. That's how you stab them in to make them feel like they ain't loved up.
No, he mentioned me.
Nigga cough on the last part, you know, my aunts, my cousins. You who? No, my throat, COVID.
everybody got to get love, you know. But you know,
No, that's not true. That's not true.
well, everybody
Everybody don't deserve love. That's not true.
that you care
That's
about.
not true. Love is earned. Not everybody deserves
But
it.
everybody that you love and you care about, you know,
Should
show
you get
them some
something?
love.
You giving everybody you love?
Show them love, you know what I mean? Show them appreciation.
And
But I do
what
that
sense,
anyway.
though? In what sense though?
I do
Because
that
Valentine's
anyway.
Day is mostly about, you know, the romance of it, unless we're gonna really
Supposedly.
I was gonna say, unless we're gonna really go back to the actual history.
What is that? Yeah, let's break that. Where does Valentine's come
Oh,
from?
we didn't even put this in the segments and the topics, but just because I know enough
Yeah, where
shit,
does that come from?
not verbatim, but Valentine's actually came out of a tragedy, which was a massacre, I believe. It was a Valentine's Day massacre.
I thought that was when they.
No, it was a massacre. That's where this whole
The
thing
mobster
where it actually
stuff, wasn't it?
originated from. I forget. It was in another country though, and I don't want to say
Yeah.
a country just throwing out there because I can't
Romans.
honestly remember. I did, and I was just gonna say I feel like it's wrong.
Really?
So yeah, that's it. So, but that's the origin of it. A lot
So
of
it was pain and they turned it into
It
love.
was pagan. A lot of the holidays that us as American
Yeah, I
citizens
know,
celebrated
yeah.
pagan ritualistic holidays.
Where the
They
little
started
Cupid
out
and
as something that was
Christmas.
negative, and that's what they do. They turn the image to something like Cupid shooting arrows.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Valentine's is another money grab, man.
That's exactly.
We're
what
in a
it
capitalist country. Every
Yeah.
3 months, you got multiple holidays to keep you spending money instead of saving money.
is.
Man.
I feel like if I love you, you gonna know it before Valentine. I don't need a day to tell me.
Yeah, it
to show
shouldn't be
you that I
a
love
shouldn't be
you,
a
you know what I'm
specific day,
saying?
man. So yeah, I feel you on that, man.
Yeah.
That's real shit. So look right into that camera and you tell
I
the
said
lady-
it.
you
I
tell the
said
lady
it. Every
you
day is
see-
Valentine's Day.
Tell
with
her,
me.
say her name.
Nah, every day is
Tell the
Valentine's
lady
Day
you
with me,
love her
brother.
and tell your name.
Is it hot in here? Like,
Well, yeah,
turn this shit
is it the
today.
sweaters?
God damn.
My hand
Sweat,
is
man.
sweating. Woo! Shit. Nah, but 85, you got plans for Valentine's? You know, you got your relationship going strong, new father, y'all got the baby over there.
Pick them flowers
too
up.
crazy, like you said with COVID. I mean, nothing you can really, like, not a lot of things you can do.
We really do, yeah.
Taking out the beach, get some food, and like try to find a little open spot, you know, on the beach.
I wish I had the sound that said, oh.
That's cool.
That's when the thug nigga guard drop a nigga say some shit off the wall. It's like, man, nigga, I love. You hear me, nigga? I love. Nigga, I love the way you saying it. You want to take your bitch to, I'm sorry. You want to take your lady to the beach. Nigga, I love. Nigga. I love that shit, nigga.
Trying to do the right thing, you know, trying to do the right thing with the old lady. You know.
There you go. He did the hand clap. I thought he meant beating at first. He's like trying to do the.
Hey, but
Like, oh, you go, oh yeah, no, definitely doing the right
it's
thing.
like
Right
if you're in a relationship and you don't come with nothing, like you're gonna have to hear about that. You know what I mean? You gotta come with something. You gotta do
No,
something.
I think it's communication. I think it's about communication because I've been in relationships and I'm like, don't buy me nothing because that don't mean anything.
Well, that's what I was gonna
Right.
say. Should you feel a certain way? Because in a relationship, right? Like, and y'all, everybody knows how I am. Like, as far as holidays and stuff, but I've just never been really a celebratory person. It don't have nothing to do with any specific reason. That's just I don't care what my birthday included. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've always been like that for whatever reason. But I don't know. Do you think that's specific to the couple? Maybe.
Yes.
It all got to do with the woman. If the woman's cool with you,
It
y'all
all
not
got
doing.
to do with it?
Because if you in a relationship, right, and you don't believe in Valentine's Day
Right.
like that, right, but your woman is expecting something for y'all
You
to
still
do.
not-
No,
you still
because
not
I
doing
feel
it.
like
You don't have to, but you gonna have to hear
Wait,
that.
no,
Well,
but
that's what I
wait,
was hearing
about
because
it.
if like to me, I believe at the beginning of the relationship, right, you're discussing this, like where your boundaries are,
That's
what,
what I
and then
said,
that would let
depending on the
her,
couple, what did y'all talk about?
that would let her know, like
Yeah.
I'm not a holiday
But
person.
listen,
You'd be like,
but you know
I'll
what?
take it or leave it.
You
Right.
know what? That's
That's
one
true.
thing. That's one thing. It's easy to say that, but
Yeah.
myself speaking from experience, I've gone into relationships where, like, you know me, so I'm very upfront when I meet people, especially if it's somebody I want to deal with. I give you the layout so you have the option, the choice of if you're going to deal with me or not. Because when you do, you know already what other, if I was trying to hide you
was
with
coming with it.
You see what I'm saying? So I've met certain females and started dating, and up front I'll tell them, I'm not a person who celebrate holidays or, not even like just Valentine's. Like I said, my birthday, Christmas, Thanksgiving, like, everybody knows I'll miss family meetups, I'll miss plates, like not for no specific reason. But then as you get comfortable with a person, you get into the relationship, and then they would try to, women think they can change men. We always hear this.
I don't think I could change men.
But to that degree, it's kind of true to that degree because that's what ended up happening in the relationship. You know what I'm saying?
You believe you can train them.
I was gonna say, look, she said
I don't want to put you out.
She said she don't believe she can change me. She believes you can chain their ass up.
If they pay a good price, I'll trade them.
Oh.
It is. So, yeah, that's what they
That'll
did.
be on my OnlyFans?
No, but yeah, I mean, hopefully.
So wait, so you've been in a relationship and it was Valentine's Day and the girl got you something and you just didn't do anything? Like
I have before, yes.
How'd that play out? Like what happened?
If I'm being honest, the time it did happen, I was on the younger side. It was a relationship I had been in maybe with her at that point, maybe 9 months, I'll say.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? 8, 9 months, something like that. But again, I've been the same way since I was a teenager. Like my Northside Rome is here to verify. Like I've always been the same way. I tell you what it is up front. I tell you what it is up front, so it's not no surprises down the line. Man, you see what I'm saying?
That's hard to do with women.
No, but you know what? That's the thing. You think it's hard to do with women when you a person who ain't never did it with women.
No.
Listen.
I know what you mean.
Let me get it out because most men, right? We got the reputation as the sneak around, the creep around and cheat, right?
Right.
Okay, but that's when niggas is in relationships and get caught up in those types of situations, right? Mm-hmm. What I'm saying is from the standpoint of a single man, if you tell a woman up front what your intentions are,
right?
If you tell her what your intentions are, don't set expectations or boundaries, nothing like that. But you let her know what she would basically be dealing with if she were to deal with you. What I found from doing that is the woman, you're gonna get one or two types of answers, right? It's either gonna be a "nah, I'm good," or you're gonna end up the woman gonna still fuck with you, but she'll respect you more for being honest with her and allowing her to have a choice.
Let me tell you real quick, because I've done that. And it depends on the maturity of the woman. Because they'll say like, oh yeah, I'm cool with that. We just having fun.
That's why I said I was younger.
We just having fun. You young. We gonna go out. We gonna do this. And next thing I know, the emotions got involved. I got a brick through my car. You know what I'm saying? They was cool with it.
Again, you know what you just said. It depends on the maturity of the woman. And that's why I said when I was younger, because I said I find as I get older, like I had one of my older homeboys, he probably gonna end up seeing this just because my pops here, so shout out to Punk and my homeboy P, Nutty Northside, St. Louis. He put me on stuff, he's almost got 20 years on me. Mm-hmm. He always was putting me on stuff on just how to deal with certain situations and everything, and this is one of the particular topics where I feel like he would have been right. Same scenario. You know what I'm saying? If you go into it knowing a woman is, or if you old enough, you got a certain level of maturity, you're single. You know what I'm saying? You're single, you're not tied to nobody, and you telling the person, this is a whole other two adults having a conversation where you basically let them know you laying out like guidelines, not guidelines, but you know what I mean? You laying out like, well look, this is my situation at the moment, or this is what I'm looking for, what I'm not looking for. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
A woman has to be somewhere, at least on your page mentally, to understand that, because otherwise, if she's a person who really likes you like that, she's not gonna hear nothing you said. That's where the emotion gets clouded at. Right. But you'd be surprised when you meet the women who move similar to how some dudes move.
Nah,
you know what I'm saying? Where they understand where it's just like, nah, I don't really I like you. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not looking for a relationship right now because I don't need that kind of attachment, that commitment, those intertwinings of things, et cetera, But we can go out, we can date, we can chill, we can have protected sex, all of that. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. But it depends on, again, the individuals, the relationship, the structure of the relationship, and what was discussed in the beginning. Otherwise, you end up on Valentine's Day with a bullet in your ass instead of
I just want to speak to women because y'all are I feel like y'all are female bashing.
Are we dogging?
How so? Please
because I've had situations where I'm like, listen, we are here for one thing only, and I'm gonna need you to act accordingly, and then leave me alone. And then it's, you're not texting me enough. There's not enough communication.
I gotta say, so far your speech sounds a lot more like female bashing than what we were saying.
I'm saying for
as
guys.
a woman have said, this is what it is. I need the dick. We gon' fuck and we done.
Just
Go
leave me
your
alone.
ass home, man. Leave me
But,
alone.
and I'm like, y'all get just as respectfully, and y'all get just as disrespectful with a brick through your.
In the early phase.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. It all depends on both ways about the maturity level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if somebody really wants you, they gonna tell you whatever they.
That's why I said.
That's both ways. They'll tell whatever you want to hear. Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Yeah. That's why I said. That's why I said a person will go off emotion if they really like you.
Right.
And can you really be? Can I be held accountable if I tell you everything honestly and truthfully up front and you make a decision that halfway through the relationship it's got so good that you no longer want our original agreement and that leads to you becoming violent with me because I don't want to give you what I told you in the beginning I wasn't willing to give you?
Right. I've had this conversation with a few people and I'm like, bruh, leave me alone. Like, we already had this conversation.
I've had that conversation when the girl felt it was switching. She was like, yeah, we gonna have to stop this the last time. I was like, what you talking about?
I can respect that.
I'm starting to like you and
well, see, but I was gonna say, listen, I respect that though, because at least on that point, she caught herself in
that was some real shit.
Yeah.
That was
She
real.
knew y'all had an arrangement or whatever it was, and that she was starting to get ready to step over those boundaries, and you told her that wasn't what you wanted. Instead of her trying to push that on you and make that a thing, she told you, look, I'm gonna chill on you because, et cetera, et cetera. You see what I'm saying? So I can respect that a little more. Dr. Dre was out at the steakhouse with April Jones. Y'all see that?
Oh yes, I peeped that.
What you think about that? They dating. I seen she said afterwards. She said she is dating, but she didn't say she was dating him.
Of course.
I read between the lines.
I seen
You might be dating, motherfucker.
I feel like that's a come up.
Got took out.
That's a come up for her. I mean, dang, she went from.
In what sense though? She got a real deficient. No, you got a real deficient.
Yeah.
At this point, it was just food. That's how I look at it. I'm not going into it like all the media and shit like, oh, a mystery woman. No, it wasn't a mystery woman. We know who she was.
I mean,
we seen her.
Yeah,
we know who she is. We know who she got kids with. We know who she dated. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not nothing, no mystery to it. It's Dr. Dre, after coming out of this divorce he's going through right now, $1 billion divorce,
still going through
is the next prospect that he is going to choose. And I don't mean it in an offensive way. I'm just saying, like, you know, to what she does or whatever. Is his next prospect for a wife going to be the mother of another celebrity, entertainer, reality TV star woman? I don't know. I'm not saying no. I'm just saying, like, you know, that's the date. Everybody said it was a date. I'm not reading too much into it because
we don't know how long they've been
it could have been a business dinner. She's an entrepreneur. She works. She has businesses. Drake just had an aneurysm. Drake could be looking at all kind of things. It could have been a date. You see what I'm saying? Like, he could find her attractive and like, oh yeah, whatever. Yeah. But people, I just feel like we don't know enough of the ins and outs of that situation for everybody.
Hypothetically,
if
they were, I wouldn't feel like, you know, that might be a good look. You know what I mean?
For who?
For her, for sure. If she make him happy, it's a good look because he's been going through a lot, right? So, you know, if that's what we choose, that's what we choose. But I don't feel like it's like a bad look for Dre like that. Like people don't clown him or nothing.
Get healthy.
You just had an aneurysm.
That helps.
Because like when we were talking earlier today about people capitalizing on people's like emotional states. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he might look at her like let's just say, you know, hypothetically,
like she's a savior right now.
Right now, you know, and being in the field and knowing that you're not like, oh, that's really unhealthy right now. Get yourself better first.
You might need that love, that companionship. You know what I mean?
No,
that might help him get through it.
Hey, well, maybe that might be. I mean, that might be his Valentine's Day.
Yeah, being alone and you going through a lot sometimes.
And his wife, you know,
but you need to separate that. Hopefully, that's discussed.
They go through a divorce, and I said, you know, his wife, she's steady throwing stuff out there. She just asked the judge to look into his mistress's house and see if he paid $2 million.
But I'm like, why does it matter? Why does he get paid?
She knew the whole time.
She knew.
You knew the whole time. I would be the best wife ever. I would never. How much are you? I don't care.
She's outlandish though. Like
No,
she wants his name.
I don't care.
He was Dr. Dre way before he met her.
Like,
He had
I don't
the
care.
chronic
She
out
said
already.
she's been around long enough that she won't have. What? I want half, Eddie. No. She want her money, man, nigga.
Man, nah, man. She wasn't making them beats, and you know what I mean.
Right, she wasn't beating the streets.
Making Dr. Dre beat.
I mean,
Yeah,
well, she might have
headphones
been
and shit.
well, I mean, she might have gave the input.
I think-
Because he was a little input.
Possibly, I think she should. I didn't say nothing, but have.
I mean, well, what is it? California? Is it California? That's
Well,
they're in
that-
California, right?
Yeah,
they're in Cali.
50%. that's just it. That's the law.
No, I just feel like I said, we don't know specifics or nothing like that. But again, like we was talking about him having an aneurysm, I think him getting his health together right now should be first and foremost. Him being 51, 52 years old.
I believe so.
It was a brain aneurysm, things like that.
That's
so
scary.
not only his physical health, but his mental health as well. You know what I'm saying? But big ups to him, like I said, he could be 100% happy, and if he is, big ups to Dr. Dre, man. I don't think the best come out of the situation.
Get well.
And speaking of mental health, I wanted to get the transition to Charlemagne the God. He got a new mental health venture. Let me get to pull up. Charlemagne the God has launched the Mental Wealth Alliance Foundation to establish fundamental and far-reaching generational support system for Black mental health. The Mental Wealth Alliance, will raise $100 million over 5 years. Will partner with Black-led organizations and experts to activate MWA's 3 major pillars of life, change and impact. Pillar 1 is train, prepare thousands of Black people to become research and clinical services providers in psychology, social work, and related fields through training and by establishing scholarship funds to provide training to increase the number of mental health care professionals from 4% to 14%. To mirror the underserved population in need of culturally aligned mental health support. Pillar 2 is to teach, advocate for the implementation of social and emotional learning and mental health literacy in public K through 12 education nationwide at a federal, state, and local level. And Pillar 3 is treat, support culturally competent organizations in providing free therapy to more than 10 million Black Americans within 5 years through the support of existing organizations and funding of the establishment of new organizations. So definitely
That's
shout out
dope,
to Charlemagne the God, the Mental Wealth Alliance. Great to see that coming from him. Very proud of what he's been doing ever since he did come out speaking about mental health and his own mental health, and wrote his books, best-selling authors, and all things like that. He's one of those people, creatives, media, whatever we're going to call him. Like, he just seems to be on a roll for the last couple of years, and I think he's in a good space.
He's shining a real light on mental health, especially in the Black community. I read his book, Black Privilege. He talked about his own problems and dealing with mental health, and a lot of people in our community don't deal with it. You know what I mean? We just live with the trauma. So for him to shed a light on it and now have these organizations, that's dope, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Give it up to him.
Yeah, shout out to him for that, everything he's doing over there too, as well at his station with the Black Effect, the podcast network. So a couple of the podcasts they got on there, I see some dope stuff too. So happy to see him growing his brand and getting bigger as a personality as well. Speaking of big personalities, Kevin Hart was scammed out of $1 million.
What is going on with Kevin, man?
I don't know.
No, for real. No, hold on. Let's break this down for a second.
I don't know.
Like, they broke in his house, a girl's sex scandal recorded him, and now he's getting blackmailed for $1 million? Like, or scammed out of $1 million? Like, what's going on?
Well, it wasn't blackmail. So what happened was, it was a personal shopper. A personal shopper out of New York City found himself in legal trouble after he allegedly scammed Kevin Hart out of a large amount of money in excess of $1 million. According to ABC 7 New York, on Wednesday, Queens District Attorney Melinda Katz announced that Dylan Jason Sire, a 29-year-old Long Island resident, had been indicted and arraigned on grand larceny and other charges. Katz says that between October of 2017 and February 2019, Dylan allegedly made more than $1 million in unauthorized purchases using Kevin Hart's credit cards. The defendant thought he was beyond reach and was living out his uber-rich lifestyle fantasies, but the team uncovered the bogus purchases, which is what Kevin Hart's statement said, from his credit card charges being processed by the bank, and they tracked this down by following the FedEx packages to Sire's home.
So somehow he got his credit card information.
Got his credit
So he
information.
scammed, got you. Okay, I was
Over
gonna
$1 million
say.
over the course of
I
2
know he
years.
didn't fall for it.
And they showed there was some pictures and stuff they had showed the guy had money all through the house, stacks of
he
money,
wildin'.
jewelry. He bought a lot of those little, I don't know what the dolls is called. I think they're claws or something, the big mouse little head dolls. And
Oh, you talking about the
they're like
collector
collectibles or
items.
something.
Yeah.
He had like 5 or 6
I
of
forget
those.
the name.
Bear brick.
But so it's funny.
Something like that.
You know, FedEx drivers is coming and drop. It's Kevin. You Kevin Hart? Yeah, I'm Kevin Hart. They looking for pictures. And
They
shit.
showing up looking at nah, man, we just got the same name. You know what I mean? Oh damn, that's crazy. I thought this was Kevin Hart house.
It is.
They thought it was Kevin Hart house too.
He just living it up. Why would you send it to your house, man? You wildin'.
Man, people do stupid shit all the
That's some
time.
stupid
You get loose.
Look,
You get loose.
people do
Got
stupid
loose.
shit. People do stupid shit all the time, and you do get loose. And I use that to transition to the Gorilla Glue girl who has got her hair unfreeze. So yeah,
Bro.
here I am working and shit and getting my followers the natural way, and she got almost $1 million for doing some stupid shit. Y'all, I need to glue my hair together too.
Hey,
In her
you wanna
defense,
take your
she
scalp
did not
and took
know.
off?
Hey, listen.
There is 2 companies that literally have the same gorilla. Well, one is kind of more animated,
One,
and they're both called Gorilla.
Listen, first of
They're
all,
both called Gorilla Glue?
No, one's called
no.
Gorilla Snot. and one's
First of
called
all,
Gorilla
first of all,
Yeah.
I mean,
Right,
first of all,
try to
likeness,
sue,
likeness,
first of
I'm
all,
finna get
First
off.
of all.
Yeah.
First of all,
likeness.
first of all, first of all.
Let her have
Are
it.
we? No, fuck no. Take
You're
it back
so
and then we'll start.
rude.
First of all,
You didn't get that off the beauty
First-
stop,
supply.
my brother. Give me this.
Go ahead.
First of all,
Have
are
it.
you telling me a grown woman of 40
Ooh.
can't read? And if okay, let's start there because maybe she can't, and I'm willing to give you that benefit of the doubt. Is that what you're telling me?
Possible.
I'm not gonna say anything
Okay,
about that.
that's what I like right there. So somehow this grown woman of 40 who's been on this earth 40 years had industrial strength adhesive glue, which says it on the front and has a big ass image of a gorilla on the
Come
front,
on.
holding glue on the front.
Yeah.
Which I have no idea why you even mix this shit up and with products in your bathroom. But she somehow
Her size laid.
listen. They got laid already.
Definitely
They got laid, sprayed,
She
and for
wanted
months
good
them
behavior.
motherfuckers stayed.
I'm just saying somebody probably was like, go get some gorilla stuff. And then she was like, oh, okay. And then went actually look for it, like, girl, it'll hold your
Wendy,
hair
It
down.
was not in the beauty
I wonder,
supply
at what
section,
point
though. Like,
did you, that's what I'm saying, you
Yeah.
get Gorilla Glue from like Home Depot.
Home
and
Depot. Yeah, like that's.
shit. What were you doing at Home Depot that made you decide, oh, I need that for my edges?
This is probably hold it. But do
That's
you
too
put
much, man.
glue all over your head?
Got
like
to be
that?
glue.
same
Yeah, it's called got to be
Oh,
glue.
okay. See, I didn't know
She had
that
the
part.
same
And
hairstyle for
they
some
use
months.
it for like
A
weeds.
couple of months, I think they said 3 months, somebody said 3
Yeah,
months.
like-
For weeds, I thought like.
Yeah, like, and then you put the cap on.
Permanent.
Oh, I'm so glad that she didn't like glue a wig down on her head.
Oh, it been stuck for
Oh
life.
my god. Like I started following her basically to be like, baby, are you okay? Like I wanted to know if they were gonna like surgically have to scalp her.
No, she
That's what I was worried
I
about.
seen
Like
the
I was
pain in her
really
eyes.
yeah, I was
It's
really
so-
scared for her.
She more than okay.
It was
and I
so
seen-
like it was such a morbid like I was
Doctor.
watching it being
Right.
morbid
Shout
like
out
in
to
a
the doctor.
morbid-
She flew out to LA for the surgery, but she's more than okay. And I seen the joy in her eyes after
her head could breathe.
No, not even not damn the hair. After the operation that costed $12,000 was done for free by a surgeon here in LA, and she got to keep all that money that they donated to that GoFundMe, and she flexed on the ground with that new Benz thing.
Oh, she pulled up in the bin.
I ain't never
Wasn't that
man.
was
I've been
it
hearing
car
looking
rental?
off.
It was car
It was
rental,
red.
right?
It was red.
Listen,
It was red.
I think I said car rental.
y'all missing my point.
Yeah.
She got money for that?
Why y'all giving people shit for being dumb? Y'all won't even.
Because
y'all
that's
won't
the
donate.
new that's
y'all,
the new era. What are
Y'all
you talking about?
y'all won't donate money to the homeless people.
Yeah.
Right.
Y'all will
Because
bash
entertainment-
People. Hold on. Y'all will bash people when y'all see them giving shit to homeless people and recording it because y'all feel like that's less genuine.
Right.
Even though these people out here in a situation that could be by no fault of their own in these circumstances, living on concrete streets, grounds, and all of that, and etc. But y'all will raise thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars to change the life of a motherfucker who wasn't smart enough to not know better than to put industrial strength
Right.
adhesive glue
Yeah.
in her motherfucking head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on now.
This is the world we
Yeah,
live
it
in.
is.
That's real. I tried to feel
You
bad
getting
for
ads,
it.
I
you
still
getting
do,
sponsorships,
because
you
I
getting
couldn't. I
people
was like,
giving you
this is
shit.
dumb.
You see what I'm saying? I done felt bad for her if she was a child.
Right.
Yeah.
40 years old,
Yeah,
you know better.
I know it makes me
better.
sad because they did give her money for that, and I know, like, I don't know if it's in any other county.
You know
I know
why
it's separate. I know it's Bernardino. Like it's. I never said that. I know because I understand like homeless people in San Bernardino.
Okay.
I don't know if it's in San Bernardino County all over, but I know in San Bernardino County it's illegal to feed homeless people. You will get fined for
that's
feeding
wild.
them. Yeah.
I know people that do on Thanksgiving, they give out food and stuff. That's crazy. They did get shut down one year. So that's wild that you can't
But I mean,
feed
I was sad
people.
for her because I'm like, even we don't know if she has any mental issues. That's what led to that situation. We don't know anything. We're just judging, and I'm going down her page and watching people just rip her. And I'm like, if you're gonna rip her, just leave it alone and just.
Listen,
I'm shout out to you, ma'am, because I just wanted. I just wanted to know if your scalp was okay because that is just. I was like, it can't breathe. It's not growing. I was so sad for you.
The doctor, because I heard you had to make like some custom mix.
Yeah, they had to do like an industrial,
you got niggas having to invent industrial solvent solution that you put in. Oh, and then we can't even take accountability for being stupid.
You get rewarded for
remover
doing
and like acetone and
listen
other
to me.
stuff. Yeah.
I'm telling y'all right now.
And then a man glued his lips.
If this podcast and shit don't take off as quick as I hope it would, y'all gonna find a viral video for me. I'm gonna be on that motherfucker on Instagram with a whole Gorilla Glue dread ponytail to the back talking about some, hey y'all. So for those of y'all who've been following the podcast, you know my situation, and I had just tried to grease my scalp, and I put fucking some Gorilla Glue. I mixed it up with the Murray's grease I had that was up there, and I went to slick my edges, and these bitches is super slick. Please give me free stuff. Give me money.
That's so messed
Give me hundreds of thousands of dollars.
I just want y'all to know that we're rimming her, and I'm just like, at the end of the day, we don't know where her mental state was.
We can't do it. We know where we at. Motherfucker put industrial things in
No, the only part where she lost me was, and I was like, maybe it's because she's kind of wacky from going under. Okay. Because they were like, well, what are you gonna do now? And she was like, I gotta get my hair done for Valentine's Day. And I was like, whoa, you lost me.
Y'all don't understand.
Let your head breathe.
Hold on, y'all don't understand. We sitting here laughing, but she's gonna have a Valentine's Day, and that's more than I'm
sure. She is.
You think motherfuckers ain't seen? You see
motherfuckers? Brand new Benz.
Shout out to her.
She got all that shit took out. Your head look like a dirty tennis ball now. But it's gonna
leave her.
She put a wig on.
It's gonna be some dude out there who been watching Instagram like, yo, you know who I'm going out with on Valentine's?
Gorilla Glue.
Shorty who Gorilla Glue that shit like, yo.
And then shout out to the doctor for real because you saved her edges.
He did.
If all else.
That is a thing.
That's what I was the most worried about. I thought the glue was gonna stick to like the ends of her skin and it would be like surgical type shit. He created that solution in 12 hours and it worked. So
he did that. But sometimes when we give people credit for doing like smart things, you gotta give them credit when they do some
dumb shit. Yeah.
You got to, and they'll learn their lesson. You know what I mean?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
But you gotta drag them a little bit, man. You gotta take.
I mean, no, but you should read the comments.
Yeah, but people go overboard. People go overboard, and just so everybody know, we goof, we joke to it, we joke it to a certain extent with this topic, of course. But we serious with the overall concept of it. I feel like that was a pretty dumb move. But leading into what you said, if you're gonna celebrate people sometimes and take the good with the bad and things like that. And so I'm gonna use it to segue into Dave Chappelle released over the weekend. What was it, last Thursday, I believe. Yeah. He released a 10-minute long video from his stand-up that he just did down in Texas, I believe.
Yeah, it was in Texas.
And he went into a lot of stuff. He basically talked about how the first stand-up, the Chappelle show he was never paid for it from Comedy Central. But he talked about the deal with Netflix, about how they put it up and they took it down when he told them it made him feel bad. He never got paid for it. He felt the deal was unjust, et cetera, et cetera. So he went into a myriad of things that happened with that. But basically, the long and the short is Dave Chappelle has now been paid by Comedy Central. They've made him right. They've made him whole 20 years later after his show ended, after things were taken from him, after $50 million was turned down by him.
Right.
He said they have paid him double-digit millions, and he's now giving them. He also has his rights back.
He got his name back. He got the show back.
And his image back, his likeness back. So hopefully that means we'll get another Chappelle show coming soon. I don't care how fucking old you are. I still want it, Dave. When you can be 80 years old and shitting on yourself, and I'll be right there talking about some.
They said they're dropping something next month. I seen it said Chappelle's show.
Well, Netflix, the Chappelle show will be back on Netflix. They're gonna put it back up now. Now that he's got paid, he feels he's been paid for it.
I think this is a big movement. It's never been done. Like somebody fight a company and they didn't have to give him that money or give him the name. They could have just been like, well, we own it. You signed the contract. But they gave him the name back. They gave him the money that he should have earned for it.
They did something that was morally just.
That's big.
They didn't have to by business standards, but that was them saying like, you know what? We know we not the ones who did you wrong back then, but since we represent that entity that did, we gonna make it right. That was really dope. I was happy to see that as well.
I'm glad he wasn't quiet about it either.
Oh no.
And he his influence, people were like, you know what? I'm not gonna watch it.
I think that's what changed it, because the following, if you fuck with Dave Chappelle, you fuck with him.
Yeah,
you know
tough.
He said stop watching it. Everybody
stop watching it.
Yeah.
Even I did. Like when he said it, I was like, I'm gonna stop.
That was big.
Chris.
So I'm glad he got everything back, and like you said, I hope he get start another show.
Yeah, for sure. And this one,
I'm here for it.
This one recently took place down in Texas.
We were supposed to
and
know
also
that.
there was kind of not to sound fucked up. I'm kind of happy we honestly didn't a little bit at this point now. So just speaking of Texas, there was a 100-car pileup that just recently happened on I-35 highway down in Fort Worth. So I pray the condolences with those people, as many as 100 vehicles involved. There were 5 deaths that were confirmed, reported before this weekend. We don't know if any more have come out as of yet.
How did 100 cars? That's wild.
Well, yeah, CBS in Dallas-Fort Worth says the car pileup involved at least 100 vehicles along Interstate 35, leaving multiple people trapped inside of their cars. Police officials have confirmed at least 5 deaths due to the accident. Officials said the crash started to take place around 6:30 a.m. after freezing rain and sleet fell overnight, leaving the roads wet and slippery. So it's one of those things that happens a lot back in Missouri. We call it black ice. It looks just like the street. It's something that if you're speeding, you can't really see it because it's like just a sheet of ice over the street. It still looks like the street.
I hit
but you hit your brakes and
you just slide.
Just go.
That's why you gotta have chains on your tires and stuff like that, right?
12, 18-wheelers were involved in this accident. 100 vehicles. Vehicle went off the side of the highway. I think it was like a 40-foot drop or something like that. It was bad, man. So like I said,
that's the city fault.
It was 5 at last reported. So condolences to everybody who passed from that and the families that are suffering with that. Just got to make sure we be more careful, even as a society, because if sleet and rain fall, you have a Department of Transportation. Their job is to get out there and salt those roads and take care of things like that. I know Houston, Dallas doesn't get a lot of snow, I don't believe, so maybe it's not something they're familiar with, normally having to deal with.
A little section that was on a bridge, but that was like the only real part that was icy, right? So if you're
that clip, it was longer than it was a section. That was it's a nice little amount.
Well, for 100 cars, it had.
Yeah, that's why I said it was a nice little amount of highway.
Somehow you couldn't really see it coming until you was too late.
Well, they said it started falling at 6:30. So what it was people on their way to work. You probably was so early nobody was expecting it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh wow, yeah.
And so you just driving and the road still looks like the road. It's so early.
So the city's at fault though, right?
I ain't even up there.
But I'm wondering have they never hit black ice before? Because
that's what I said. Houston don't experience snow like that. So if they did, they probably wouldn't even notice it.
They just think
because it just covers it's just thin enough to where you can't see it, but it's just thick enough that it won't break up like that.
Is that a natural disaster or do you
it is. That's what I was about to say. I think that would be a natural disaster because they said rain and sleet fell. That mixture made the dry ice. I mean the black ice.
So in that case, would the city have how do you hold them responsible? Were they supposed to come and clean it?
Out here, we have
Department of Transportation. That would be the only thing you could try. But again, with them being the type of state where they're like desert almost is always super duper hot. They ain't experiencing no snow, so it's not feasible to even think that they would have snow plows ready. You know what I'm saying? If your weather is normally 100 and some degrees and they're telling you severe drought, conserve water, this ain't a place you expect snow to fall.
But this is my thing. Hasn't history showed though that we should be prepared?
No, you got to be because I worked in transportation before. We don't get snow here, but I worked in Big Bear. They have them snow plows at every yard. Caltrans, and it don't snow out here. So you gotta be ready because something like that can happen. That's a travesty, man. You know?
Yeah, man, 100 people in there.
That's crazy. I never heard of 100
Carpala.
people.
Oh, that's not the first time.
And that means you just kept hitting, and like everybody that tried to stop just kept. Yep, they just kept
They just
going.
kept going. You can't stop.
It was a truck.
On black ice.
Truck they got just flip like.
Yep. It just becomes a chain reaction. It's like a slide.
Yep.
What happens is you slam on your brakes, and that actually makes it worse.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because when it hits that lock, and then that skid actually makes you slide quicker into.
So what are you supposed to do?
You
supposed to
They tell you you're supposed to just steer, take your feet off the gas,
and
and
just
off the
steer.
brake, and you allow the car to drift, and you just maneuver.
Yep.
That way the car.
And you can't
the
turn
car has-
fast
You
because
can't,
it'll flip your
it'll
car.
flip you.
The car
Yep.
needs to come to a natural stop when it's able to.
Yep.
Man, I ain't driving in no snow.
Come on to Missouri then.
We don't deal with it.
I mean, it snowed out here recent. Well, not
But
in
it ain't gonna be
LA,
like
but
that. Like, you know what I mean?
it snowed in my area.
Oh yeah, I was out there. That was talking
Yeah,
about
it snowed.
It was a little heavy. It's them. I think
What's
California
that little?
people are not used to.
I know, we was like,
snow.
what?
I was
What?
laughing so hard. I was down.
I was like, oh my god, it's so cold.
I was down at the warehouse, and I'm sitting there. I'm talking to my business partner, and it started. And I just seen the look in his eyes. I'm looking over my shoulders. I turned around, look at the warehouse. And I turned back, and this nigga was gone from out of his seat. I was like, what the fuck? And he come running back, putting the jacket on, talking about nigga, it's snowing. He ran outside, all on the ground and shit.
The last recorded snow day
It was
in
years
Rialto
ago.
was in 1989.
No, it's been one since then.
Oh, well,
When
one
I
more.
was
when I was
maybe.
I'm about to say it's
Oh,
been,
it must have been when you were, because I'm like, that was the last recorded.
No, less
It was
than
like
20 years. It's been less than 20, about 18 probably, 16, something like
It
that.
was like 2001 or
Like some light
2000.
ice. You can-
19.
Yeah, it was like
No, like
light.
snow? Snow like we
No, it
were?
was snow. It was
Yeah,
snow.
snow.
No, it was snow because
Yeah.
our uncle
It was
woke this
tiny.
nigga up and said, hey man, come meet me at the front door.
I was
He didn't know what he
so-
wanted. When we got
Yeah.
to the front door, our uncle was like 50 something and he just pegged this nigga with a snowball and was like,
And I'm like, what did he just hit me with?
what the fuck is that? It's
It
snowing.
hits under 60.
Yeah, it'd be the
It
face,
hits
bro.
under 60 in California, and I'm like, oh my
For
god.
real.
He said
Oh my
God.
he hit you in the face. Nigga, Unc was a shooter. He put everything. Everything.
I thought he got that out the refrigerator. I'm like, he's like, it's snowing outside. Like, what?
Nah,
I don't see that out here.
ever. 60 is the lowest, and we like, oh no.
And I'm freezing.
Turn on
It's
every
60.
heater, give me a blanket, where's a person?
Man, you don't know what cold is. You know that. Like, whew.
Speaking of Unc being a shooter, you see Malik Beasley, what's going on with his situation?
Last-
Player.
Last time I heard about Beasley, he was dating Pippen's wife, right?
And he left his wife for Larson Pippen.
Right.
Well, NBA star Malik Beasley finds himself now in some more trouble.
Oh, no.
As he was just handed a 120-day prison sentence behind bars for threatening a family with a gun.
What?
Yes.
A family?
Yep, a family. The Minnesota Timberwolves player is scheduled to report to Hennepin County Adult Corrections Facility on May 26th once the season wraps up. If he contracts COVID-19 or if the jail season outbreak, he will be released on house arrest. Basically, if he is sentenced, he's also sentenced to 3 years probation for the felony charge to be lowered to a misdemeanor. He'll be allowed to request a reduced probation period after 2 years. Under his probation, he's not allowed to use alcohol or drugs and will have to take random drug tests. He'll also have to finish an anger management program and has a lifetime ban from possessing a gun. A victim statement was read during the virtual sentencing, and they said they suffered severe emotional trauma.
The
Oh, man.
Well,
You know, got people. I always just be. I don't be wanting to bash niggas, but bro, like, where y'all heads be at? You making NBA money and you pulling guns on and threatening the whole family. You don't have niggas to do that for you.
You don't know what he's going through.
If you have, I don't care. If
you
you have
got to.
if you have to do that. If it came to that serious of a situation where, listen, only 400 people make the NBA. Make the league total. You have to have a certain level of talent that billions of people on this planet don't possess for you to be there. At least you have to have common sense. I can't see no other way. How are you threatening a whole family with a gun like you don't make hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars?
We don't be realizing these dudes is real people though.
At the
I know that.
I get that.
But what
I
I'm
get
saying-
that. We're all real
Yeah.
people at the end of the day. Stop. That's a bogus ass excuse to do stupid shit.
So you're saying
I'm
the
not
only reason
saying-
why
I'm
he
not
should think different is
justifying
because
it.
he's making money?
No,
Absolutely,
Yeah.
because you're the provider now for your children, your family, your wife, your fathers, your et cetera, et cetera. Nobody is 400 people can make that league. You one of
So
them.
okay, so are you
Act
saying?
like
Wait,
it.
so are you
Higher
saying?
security.
Wait.
Alright,
So are you saying then you're saying just because he makes that money, he should not act like that, right? So if he was a construction worker, you would give him that.
I'm saying because he makes that amount of money and the lifestyle that he lives for the sport he plays, he should have security. You can't afford it. If there's a situation that happens whichever requires you to pull a weapon on a family and threaten them, which then caused you to never be able to possess a firearm again in your life, you were wrong.
I'm not saying
you should have had security.
I'm not saying he's right.
Listen. Whole story or not, if it's deemed that you can never possess a firearm again in your life, something happened. Whether you know the whole story or not, it's gonna fall that way. Because what I know didn't happen is you wasn't the good guy, and they said, guess what? We're gonna put you in jail for 120 days. We're gonna take your gun privileges for your whole life. What are we talking about?
All right, but
At least they didn't take his job.
He's been charged. This is not an allegation. He's been charged.
But you don't know if the family member pulled a gun or threatened him.
It wasn't his family member.
Now I'm not saying his family member. The family that they're talking about.
Drew down on.
People come from certain places. No matter how much money they got, people don't come and they don't have people advising them.
So
they come from a certain. I'm not excusing him. I'm just saying.
No, that's excusing him.
And there's people. I'm not excusing him. You can have a background.
What you did was offer a way out, and you excused him. You said you don't know what he did. What if the family member pulled a gun on him? That would make it the way out by justifying why he pulled a gun on that person. But the person didn't get locked up for weapon possession, pulling a gun and lose possession of a firearm their whole life. He did.
People get locked up for stuff they didn't do all the time, look, and get charged. That's true.
They caught the nigga with the shit. What are we talking about? We talking about him.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
We talking about what people don't. People get caught. I know innocent motherfuckers. I didn't been locked up for shit I didn't do.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm reading a statement from a motherfucking police report from motherfuckers who arrested this dude, who got 120 days, who can't possess a gun, who gonna be on house arrest if he can't get. What the fuck are we talking about?
I'm just saying we can't always just kick the bird. I know
this shit makes zero sense to me. When you have facts, this is what happens too much. When you have facts, I can see if it's an allegation, right?
Yeah.
But you don't judge a motherfucker off of the shit that you don't know based off of what you've been told. But if there's factual evidence, if there's criminal shit, if there's charges filed, the man is going to jail. This ain't even a serious crime from the standpoint of what he got. If it was me who had did that, I get more than 120 days, guaranteed.
That's what I'm saying.
Guaranteed. So this is my point for saying, when you niggas is in that position making that kind of money that the rest of us out here can't and ain't making, it's stupid of you to pull a gun on a family and children and etc. when you can have fucking security out here with you if you feel that scared about whatever you have to pull it out for. Ain't no excuse around that.
I shouldn't be having a gun. I wouldn't even have a gun.
Thank you.
I wouldn't have a gun.
That's my whole point. That's my whole point.
But athletes get robbed and get shot and if they have
security.
Security.
You should have security.
That's what I said.
But some people they in Minnesota they don't think they need security. You know what I'm saying?
Nigga, if I'm in Minnesota, I definitely think I need security.
You walk around, you ain't places to go.
That's exactly why you do.
If I'm in Minnesota as a nigga, I definitely think I need this motherfucker.
I mean, I'm not challenging. I'm like, if I'm in a certain tax bracket, I'm not challenging nobody to a duel. I'm gonna be like, you right, I'm wrong. I'm gonna go home to my mansion. And you have a great time. But I understand some people have.
That's what I mean when you get to a certain level, bro. We're not talking about just no random dude.
No, I get what you're saying.
Grow up with. We talking about an elite class of talent. 400 people. It's hundreds of billions of us on this earth.
You holding him even more accountable.
And that's my point. You had the talent level to make it to this prestigious club that only few people in the history of the world. It ain't even been like 5,000 players yet. You see what I'm saying? All I'm saying, and then you a young black man on top of that. Your name already been dragged. Your name already been dragged through the mud before this incident happened. You see what I'm saying? For how you moved on your wife and your child for another female who does this from player to player, rapper to rapper, and was another man's wife still with his last name. You are accountable for how you conduct yourself, how you hold yourself, and when you make it to a certain level, you hold yourself to a certain standard.
But can I ask you a question though? Like his upbringing, right? I'm gonna just ask you, like, how was his upbringing? Because, like he said,
I don't know, but what I would say is that
some people
I've been around athletes. I've been around athletes, right? That got millions of dollars. That carry protection with them. They're not going. They might not be the famous face. but you become a target in certain situations. So, you know, I'm like, man, why you got a gun with you?
Listen to me.
Like, because I can get robbed. You know, I'm a target. I don't have.
I mean, I understand we're both. I can't argue both sides.
I can't even speak on a specific topic because, you know, I be around athletes. So I can't even speak on a specific topic of what they do. What I will say is anybody that I'm in connection with that's on that level, in that league, they have people around them who will do that for them. There's no need for them to do that. You see what I'm saying?
You're just saying be more wise with your money.
Exactly, because we talking about what he did from a standpoint as if you can correct the fact that he's supposed to have pulled the weapon and threatened people when he was wrong in the first place.
I just hope that
while he's
sitting there, they give him what is it, anger management class?
Yes,
and stuff like that.
And see that, and another thing, the reason why I looked at you because you know you come from a background like I come from a therapy background, so you want to attack shit as a therapist. And, well, let's look at his upbringing so we can see, you know, the trauma that was.
Because this is my thing. Money does not money does not change your mindset.
That's what I was saying.
It just all it does is enhance.
I get you.
What type of thinking you already have.
This is the thing though. It's not even a mindset thing because it could be the upbringing thing, right? But you mean to tell me if it was the upbringing, he wouldn't have made it to the league? Because
he might just be a really good baller.
No, I'm gonna stop you there. That's not how that works. You know how many really good ball players are not in the NBA?
Yeah, because of that.
You know, nigga, some of the best basketball players in the world we never seen on a basketball floor playing. Yeah. You know why? It wasn't because they weren't good enough with the skill. It was because they lacked things in the other department. Mentally, they might have been in the streets too heavy. Right. They might have been in that life a little too much, and they didn't understand that this could have been a way out. To them, we hoop. That's what we do. So they could have been on house arrest. I was in high school on house arrest. I told you I balled. They made me wrap my house arrest shit with an ace bandage so I could play. And then when one of the other coaches complained, yo, we're gonna have to have you sit out until that come off. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? But the thing I say, the upbringing, I don't want to just excuse that or blame that because even with your upbringing, by the time you start playing basketball, AAU to high school to college to whatever, because he didn't come straight from high school. Nobody has. That means you worked your way into that position. Mm-hmm. That means you have enough common sense to accept direction and discipline from somebody who kept you on that path to get you there. You telling me when you get there and you get that kind of money and level status, all of a sudden now you do that shit?
I don't know.
That's a cop out.
It's crazy. Get
security.
Listen, I've seen so many people mentally break since the COVID. You know what I'm saying? Like normal people who would not ever make a decision like that are snapping, and I'm like, bro, it's just a movie of a play. You don't have to.
This is the thing. We can say that that's from a mental standpoint with COVID and everything, right? But those same people I would argue who are dealing with it from a mental aspect are on the lower end side of society, the lower income, the people on unemployment, the people who can't work, the people who are worried about their next meal, the people who are worried about paying their bills, they can't pay their bills, their electricity. We are talking about an NBA player.
You don't give
but all right, so real quick, but so we can have some.
It has to be worth
so when we'll have some context around it, and that's why I just say sometimes I don't just go by what the results was because it's not always. The story is Beasley was at his house. The family pulled up in front of his house. He came out with the gun, tapped him on the window and told him to leave his property. And then he pointed the gun. They say when they left the residence after leaving, he had it on the shoulder like pointing it at him. Then the police came and arrested him.
As someone who knows the law, I can guarantee you that's not 100%.
That's off ESPN. That's
fine. But I'm telling you, listen. My pops is here. Did I not go to community college for my fucking law in the beginning? Okay. So what I'm telling you is whatever you just read, I can care less. That's ESPN. That's an organization that he plays ball for. They represent. They're going to spin it. You see what I'm saying? Because he's employed by their partners. What did not happen was what they just said. Because had that happened, it's on his property. If you're a person I don't know and you come onto my property and I come outside with a gun, I pull a gun on you, I tell you to leave. I've done nothing illegal. I'm well within my rights on my property. That's bullshit.
Well, see, what
ended up happening was him getting a 120-day sentence. What ended up happening was him getting years of probation. What ended up happening is he can never possess a firearm again. These are facts.
What happened was it wasn't just him pointing the gun that he got arrested for. When they got a search warrant, they found multiple narcotics, numerous guns, and a confirmed stolen gun. So it wasn't just the fact that he pointed a gun at
No,
somebody.
no, stop.
They got a search warrant and went in his house.
Why did they get a search warrant going?
Because it was reported when they came, he wouldn't let them in.
No. Why did they get a search warrant to go in his house? Because he did what?
He didn't comply with them.
No.
What was it?
Because he came out and pulled a gun on people. Yo, you steady missing the point. The nigga was wrong.
Listen, if somebody in front of your house, you don't know who it is, you might not come out with your pistol.
No, I said he was within his rights by doing that part. When they coming back talking about search warrants and all that shit, you don't get no search warrant that quick. If I call the police on you right now, they don't show it.
Well, they said when they came, they smelled marijuana. They smelled marijuana. He wouldn't let them in.
Marijuana is my house. Marijuana don't get you a search warrant.
I get that.
My house
they
is not marijuana warrant. It's not anything else.
They in Minnesota, bro. I don't know how the stuff work out there, but they came back with a search warrant and found numerous guns. I don't know the laws, but I'm reading the police report. This is what they saying, bro.
All right, so
I
heard you. So when that's done, regardless of whatever.
I'm just glad he didn't get kicked out the league.
Exactly. Happy for him on that, and I hope that I hope going forward he makes better and more conscious decisions, which is my whole point the whole time. Having a stolen gun in your house, look, we come from the hood, bro. I know what that's there for. You see what I'm saying? I ain't gonna knock you for it, but being that you got caught with it and being that you are somebody who has a certain level of stature, you knew better. You see what I'm saying? If you don't come outside with that goofy ass shit, tapping guns on windows and all this, blah, 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 blah. A motherfucker never calls the police on you. Right. The police never come to your house. The police never get a warrant. The police never search your crib. They never find you got a gun. Niggas put themselves in situations and then act like they don't understand how they got there when the shit go bad. You are how it got there. The fuck?
I feel like, you know, a lot of them dudes is targets, and there's been other cases where a person that wasn't his complexion and they didn't shot people and this stand your ground and there's no problems. They didn't kill people on the sidewalk of their property. So if that's what happened, he came out with a pistol and told people to leave off his property. I don't feel like they should have came with no search warrant anyway.
But no, he was saying you don't know the whole story.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I just want to say, at the end of all of this, at least you did not get kicked out of the league. You learned from this, because this was just a slap on the hand. Let's say praises to your privilege, and utilize that.
Let's just say smarten up, man. You know, being a young dude with some money, possibly can have some influence down the line, got some game. You know what I'm saying? Let's just make sure we set a better example as younger black men for the younger black men. That's all I'm saying.
Learn from it.
Because they see this situation, I would hate for him to have work. Like I said, 400 people make that league. I would hate for him to have work to this point in his life, dedicated his entire body, his craft, his being to this sport, and then this be how it ends right here because of an error in judgment, which was stupid as hell. You know what I'm saying? If you know you got illegal guns in your house, why would you go outside tapping guns on the car?
You were just so passionate about it, though.
No. My thing is this.
You don't like justifying.
My thing is this. I feel like bullshit. So I like context, right? If we gonna talk a full story, you got to give me all details. You can't just tell me the ending part and be like, well, this is what happened, and then try and be like, well, you don't know, because no, that's why I want the context of the story. Because motherfucker can come to you and say, yo, so-and-so up the block smacked the shit out of me. And if you a dumb nigga, you gonna just go off his word and go ride with him, and you might get fucked up with it. You see what I'm saying? But if I ask context and say, yo, why did so-and-so from up the block smack you in your face? Oh my nigga, I got mad disrespectful. I was grabbing this little sister ass and doing shit I should have been doing. Nigga, you needed to be smacking your motherfucking face, nigga. You now too, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, it's a context thing. That's the whole thing, it's context. Oftentimes, too many times, people try to tell a story from the narrative that fits or makes them look good. You see what I'm saying? That's why I said the ESPN story. What do I expect them to say? You are the premier sports coverage of the fucking league that I'm talking about, the person that's in. What are you gonna say? You gonna come out and tell the truth? Oh yeah, this nigga did X, Y, Z, blah, 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 blah. Bro, they don't do all of that for just you tapping the window on your property if a random ass car drove to your house. That ain't how the law works. You don't get prison time. You don't get fucking house arrest. You don't years of probation if somebody comes on your property.
That sucks, never being able to have your gun rights.
Your whole life? What did you have to have done? Think about that.
New York Times is saying the same.
To never have that.
They saying the same thing, but they said the people were on a tour of his neighborhood and stopped in front of his house.
They citing ESPN. They want to make these people.
One thing about black athletes, if you do something wrong, brother, they gonna throw you under the bus. If you really, you know what I'm saying, they gonna report it. They got their integrity on the line. So I believe. They're saying the same thing on here on the New York Post. But either way, it is dumb. Like you said, you're making millions. And like I said, I'm not justifying people's actions because a lot of times when people read that, like, man, this dude's making all these millions. Why would he be doing this? Some people don't have guidance and they come from, I've been in different areas where I'll fight this dude and then same situation somewhere else, they pulling guns on me. So, everybody not raised the same. Everybody, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, but I understand where you're coming from because you
that.
start making better choices, like, because you don't want to lose things.
Exactly.
He was like, you should have took a moment to be like,
perfect example.
Yeah,
Perfect example. Let me explain something. When I started doing shit that was different from my original upbringing, right? A certain level of money started to come in from my profession at that point. I get good at my job. I continue on to do business ventures that I like. You know what I stopped doing? A lot of bullshit. You know why I stopped doing shit that was bullshit? Because I knew it was bullshit when I was doing it.
Yeah.
And I like the money that I make now.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It's not worth it for me to jeopardize it. And I don't make nowhere near the money that he makes as an NBA athlete.
Yes.
If my common sense level can tell me it ain't worth it to do X, Y, and Z, why can't yours, if you got all these people around you, handlers, agents, publicists, etc., etc., nobody told you that maybe that you don't do shit like that? Because listen, even if you were home alone, right? Like, listen, I'm trying to just do, non-biased benefit of the doubt. I'm going to go out the stories that he's saying now, right? So he said, the other report, the Times, New York Times?
New York Post.
So the New York Post, they said that the family was on a tour of his neighborhood. Right? They were touring. Let's just say that that's exactly what happened, okay? You're on a tour of a neighborhood. It's a nice, rich neighborhood. They do that out here all the time, like Calabasas, all those places. They take people through there, right? So if these people were honestly just on a tourist type of destination tour, and they drive through this neighborhood, I don't know if his home is gated. I doubt it, because how would they get there if it, that close to it if it was?
Right.
So it's in one of these neighborhoods where
in Minnesota,
houses are next to each other. You see what I'm saying? There's no mention in any of the stories he read or I read of these people threatening any harm to this man. They didn't get out their vehicle.
That is true.
They didn't knock on his door.
Right.
They didn't blow their horn. They didn't call his name. He came out under his own accord, walked to the car window like he just said, tapped the gun to the window, told them to get the fuck. That's all. This is all come from what a person's actions did. You see what I'm saying? So well, I can't. I'm not gonna let you slide with some shit because you did something stupid.
Wait, what was the charges?
the original charges.
Let me read them back to you.
Or criminal act.
Firearm.
He got
He pointed a rifle at them. Too, yeah.
So 120-day sentence behind bars for threatening a family with a gun. Sentenced to 3 years probation for felony charge. So that's why I said it's more to this story, because that's not even a felony.
We had guns that
I know,
wasn't.
'cause I was
We had
like,
stolen
wait,
guns.
Furnishing a gun does not give you that much.
Marijuana, narcotics is what it says. So we don't even know if it's just marijuana.
And of course, under his probation, he's not allowed to use alcohol and drugs. No probation.
Felony threats.
So did they
No. This is another thing. I don't know if I read this or we skipped over this, but he'll also have to finish an anger management program.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
And has a lifetime
see my
ban from
counseling?
possessing a gun.
See my counseling?
You see what I'm saying? And that's my thing. Anger. So again, you can't control your emotional state.
He came
as a
out-
man.
So
You can't control
I'm
your
wondering,
anger,
but
your
this is what I'm
attitude.
wondering. Like, is there a history of him being like erratic like that?
Well,
None that's ever surfaced to this level. First thing we heard about him on the national media news level wasn't even for his play. It was for him.
oh damn, bro! Look,
Weapons.
I just seen on Yahoo Sports. It's crazy. They all got different things, but he came out. They was sitting there in
That's
the
the media.
Yeah, it's the media. They all got
Trickling
different.
down everywhere.
But he came out. He pointed a rifle at the family, and he said, as he approached the car, "Get the fuck off my property!" Yelling at them, screaming at them. And then he also was charged with 5th-degree drug possession after police found nearly 2 pounds of marijuana on the property.
And which goes back.
He threatened them with violence.
Which
with
goes
holding the
back to
gun.
my point,
But
right? He knew he had all that shit in him.
Yeah, why would you come out saying
What
that?
made you think it was smart to come outside into
Right.
the neighborhood? Because it's not a gated house. They didn't.
Right.
They didn't come over your fence into your property.
They in the front of your house.
They in front of your house in a neighborhood.
He was.
Look at
I was
the
about to
house.
say he might have been under the.
Probably was drunk.
Under
Probably
influence.
under the influence.
Okay, so let me ask this question before we move on. If he was drunk, does that excuse his behavior?
No, it does not.
Then what are we talking about?
No, but I was like, the incident in itself. We were just saying that he.
It's crazy because I know he should
Might
just
have
move
been.
to Florida.
Nigga, we just spent more time on Malik Beasley than
I know.
any media news
But-
site ever in the history of
It-
this
it-
nigga.
It turned into a bigger overall
sir, I
conversation.
hope
But
that
when
you
you kill
get
party in any
well.
other state though, and you get caught with a weapon,
Like, I hope that.
you gonna get 3 years minimum.
Right.
Period. I don't care. And if I got caught with that shit, I got 3 years flat.
Yeah.
You know,
he had multiple.
I'm not gonna get 128 shots.
And he had a stolen firearm.
That's what I'm
That
saying.
itself, if it was me,
That's what
I'm
I'm
getting
saying.
120.
I hope. That's why I said I hope that he.
5 minutes.
I hope that he embraces this privilege that he.
This second opportunity.
Yeah, you know.
Get whatever the help might be that you need, whether it's for drugs, whether it's for mental health, anger management. Like I said, I'm not here to bash the bro. I'm not here to talk down on him. I'm here to specifically state that from what we read, from what we seeing, from what the outcome was, from what the charges laid out, got you in the situation you're in, having to go away from your child, away from your family, away from the people you support, do prison time, even though it's 120 days. I don't wish jail on nobody except for rapists and rats. You know what I'm saying? Child molesters, like that type of shit. But for you to do all of that, bro, you got to make smarter decisions.
I think you can tell somebody to get off your property without coming with a rifle, and they got a 13-year-old in there.
But if they walk on the street though, that's a free.
That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
I wish we could see how the house looked.
Yeah, that's not because my whole mind was they in his parking lot?
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know if they was
like
sitting
in
there
his
for a while.
driveway.
If he walked from
Just say
out
front
of
of
his
the
house
house.
and they was in his
cameras.
driveway, he's within his rights. If they was in the
We know.
street and his house is off the street like other houses, and he walked out of his house all the way down the sidewalk to the street, tap their window, hit the gun, blah blah blah, that's him.
That's him.
Come on,
That's all.
That's on him.
And they just say in all the reports that they in the front of his house. So I don't know what that is.
He could call the police.
Man.
Yeah, that's what you do.
I don't mind in the front of my house.
Like what I done, we would have had to call the police if he'd have did what my first original point was for this whole thing.
What was that?
Have security.
Bam, we move on from there. You make too much money, brother. And speaking of making a whole lot of money, Diddy is suing Sean John for $60 million in a lawsuit, alleging that the company stole his image and his likeness. He wants his bread. The lawsuit originally was 20, and it has now been upped
I thought
to
that was his.
No, he
60
sold.
million.
Didn't he sell Sean John?
No, he sold, his name is Sean Combs. He sold Sean John the brand. They used his image Diddy, which was never associated to Sean John. We just knew that it was his clothes.
Yeah, that's what I was like.
They've used his image to promote to market their clothing, brand their clothing, market it. They're getting paid off of it. He don't get no cut off that money, and they don't have permission to license his shit to use it. So he wants $60 million because apparently that's how much they made or close to it.
That's fair.
I ain't wore a Sean John shirt since 6th grade.
But you know what?
There was the shit though,
Hey,
nigga.
I
I just spent my way to motherfucking middle school in the mornings walking like, shit, you see
Yeah, that shit was lit.
Sean and John, this ain't no fake one right here.
But that's his middle
You
name.
see that? You see that?
Sean John. But you know they make money out their suits. That's what that's where they get their money at. They be in the suits.
Yeah, he was being sued.
That's
for that,
crazy.
man.
He's suing them, right?
Well, yeah, he's suing them for that. So
Hopefully,
something to watch on. What else, man? Because it wasn't too much shit that happened over the past week.
It's been a boring week.
It really has.
It's a boring week. But I'm kind of glad. I like when it's kind of
slow.
kind of slow like that.
I did see that, and this wasn't like a topic or nothing, but I just wanted to send some recognition to this. Natalia Bryant, the oldest daughter of Lakers legend Kobe Bryant, rest in peace, Mamba. She was signed to a modeling deal.
Yeah, I seen that.
Natalia Bryant.
Congratulations.
Can't wait to see what comes of that. Nice looking young lady, smart, head on. She's athletic. I know they said she played volleyball and things like that as well. So can't wait to see what comes of her modeling career. How far she chooses to take it. But definitely some good news about that as well.
Did you get a chance to listen to that Judas and the Messiah soundtrack?
I did not.
Man, it's banging. It's good, man. It's one of the best soundtracks I heard in a while.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
If I say that and I listen to that on the way home,
no, it's dope. It's dope.
You and I go fall out if it's not. Because I do not like an album or anything that's like 2 songs and I'm skipping everything else.
I would say it's a bunch of different music. It's not one sound because it's a bunch of different people. But Jay-Z and Nipsey's on it. They got D'Angelo on it. They got a lot of different sounds on it. Top producers.
Speaking of music, before we go into the YKTV Vibe of the Week, we're gonna go over the 2021 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees. This class included Jay-Z, Mary J. Blige, Tina Turner, Shaka Khan, LL Cool J, Dionne Warwick. They all made the list for the 2021 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So shout out to them. A lot of legends in that category there.
I can't believe LL Cool J ain't on there already.
And speaking of Jay, also just right before the music break, I will just touch on this a little bit. Jay-Z and Jack Dorsey, the CEO of Twitter, have launched a Bitcoin development fund worth over $23 million. So big ups to Jay again. I just recently, I think it was episode 1 or 2, we mentioned he had just started a cannabis cultivation company. So again, as a businessman, like, he is on it. He looks to be capitalizing in so many different lanes and just different business ventures. He's tying things up. So it was reported Jay-Z and Jack Dorsey were on a mission to make Bitcoin the internet's currency. Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey revealed in a tweet that he teamed up with music mogul Jay-Z to create an endowment to fund Bitcoin development. The project will initially be focused on Bitcoin development in Africa and India. The two businessmen put 500 Bitcoin, which is worth $23.6 million, into the endowment fund. According to Jack Dorsey, the fund will act as a blind, irrevocable trust. Because of that, Jack Dorsey and Jay-Z won't be given any direction on how the team is run. Jack Dorsey also shared in his tweet that they are currently looking for 3 board members. He tweeted, Jay-Z and I are giving 500 Bitcoin to a new endowment named Trust to Fund Bitcoin Development. And it's initially focused in Africa and India. It'll be set up as a blind, irrevocable trust, taking zero direction from them as well. Yeah, man. So they're trying to make that the new actual currency, just like Tesla. Elon Musk recently put I think it was $1.5 million into to Bitcoin.
Oh yeah, it was billion, right?
Was it billion? $1.5 billion?
Yeah.
I mean, he got the brain. It probably was billion. Silly me. Billion. My bad. So yeah, he put $1.5 billion into Bitcoin, and they said Tesla in the future is going to accept Bitcoin as payment for their cars and their vehicles and everything. Yeah, man.
I don't know how I feel about digital currency. I don't know how I feel about that.
We gonna
It's
see that
changing the world. Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
International currency.
I'm like, hackers are real, bruh. Hackers are real. They get into our simple stuff now. Like, come on now.
Like be a billionaire in Bitcoin.
Bruh.
That's true.
So that dollars are losing value, right? Dollar.
I mean, but what is Bitcoin though? Like, what is it? Like, cause it's an exchange, so I mean, like, what do we hold valuable to that? Like,
well, once the banks start recognizing it, like, all right, this is gonna be the new currency. So over the next decade, it might just take over completely and be the currency. Because that's like when you go any country and you have that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This country's
but that's kind of scary too, because it's like if like the powers that be shut that down, like we are. What do we have now? What do we do?
I think it's too far ahead for them to just shut it down and like we taking your Bitcoin and taking your money. Like
they freeze accounts all the time.
Yeah, but there's too many people invested in this. You know what I'm saying?
We'll see. Let's tell you that we'll come back to it after the vibe of the week. This week's vibe of the week is the new Nipsey and Jay-Z record, What It Feels Like. Check that out on YouTube because you know if we play it, they gonna take this shit down.
For real, facts.
All right, man, you know what it is. Welcome back. That was the YKTV Vibe of the Week. That was new Nipsey Hussle and Jay-Z record called What It Feels Like. Shout out to Jay-Z. Condolences. Rest in peace to Nip, the legend, LA legend. That one right there is a banger, man. Love anything that Nipsey did, and definitely love anything Jay-Z does still at this age.
Question, I know you listen to lyrics, but in that song, was he taking a shot at Drake, Jay-Z?
I feel like he was.
That was kind of close to a shot.
The bar, I feel like it was the bar with 40 in it, and I can't think of it verbatim, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He said, I can't think of the bar even verbatim. We just listened to it.
I heard the 40 part, and that's what made me think, like, what are you talking about?
I think it was.
You know,
I think
they
it was.
take shots back and forth at each other.
Little stuff here and there. I think it was. But just going into new music and movies, TV shows, and etc. Michelle Obama. I don't know if you've seen that, but she got a new kid show that's going to be debuting. Anybody else peep that?
I did see a little preview of that on her social.
Okay, so Michelle Obama is the star and executive produce new children's cooking show called Waffles and Moochie. Michelle Obama partnered with streaming platform Netflix. This week, the former First Lady announced a new children's cooking show titled Waffles plus Moochie. She will both star in and executive produce the show. The series will follow two puppets named Waffles and Moochie who blast off on global ingredient missions, traveling to kitchens, restaurants, farms, and homes all over the world, cooking up recipes with everyday ingredients alongside renowned chefs, home cooks, kids, and celebrities. Miss Obama will play a supermarket owner who helps the pair on their journey. So
she always want to push eating
right, healthy and stuff.
They changed the whole school.
At least she had a good agenda because our last president's wife
But can you
She
think
said nothing.
Yeah.
I like that she has a mission that she's consistently always stuck to.
And she stresses it
Fitness,
heavy.
out of the
healthy,
office.
yeah,
Right.
fitness, eating healthy. She did that when she was the first lady. She's continued to do that,
Definitely.
with no longer
Mad
being a
respect.
former first lady. So big ups to Michelle Obama for that. Another thing, the Hip Hop Uncovered debuted prior to last week. I think that was Wednesday. Hip Hop Uncovered, that was with Big U, Deb Antony, Jack Thriller, all of that. That was the show that we mentioned in episode 2. It just talks about basically how the street culture of hip hop formed what we know today as the music industry, the entertainment industry from the streets. I haven't got to check out the whole thing in its entirety. I checked out a piece of it today, so I'm gonna end up seeing the rest of it soon. Judas and the Black Messiah is out now. Haven't checked it out yet. Definitely plan to.
The 12th, right?
You need to edit that.
Oh yeah, because it's gonna be shown by the time it's
Today is the 12th, my nigga.
It can't. No, I thought the album. Oh, okay, I'm sure.
You got.
It said the 12th. No, because I
I'm
looked
a
to see if it was
peacock,
out.
T. You gotta let me fly. God damn it! I got this. We,
no, 'cause I
we
thought the
debut on Mondays,
Yeah, you
bro.
right, you right.
We supposed to be talking as if we're
It's
already there.
No, I got you. No, I looked early and I was like, wait, come out. Okay.
Did
So
you
Judas, I was finna do it. I was finna do it. I got it. I got it.
Players fuck up,
got it.
man. That's what we got editing for. Players fuck up.
So Judas and the Black Messiah dropped. That was on Friday the 12th, just over before the weekend. I did not get to check the movie out yet. I don't want to give too in-depth of a take on it, but I do plan to see it, so I'll probably touch upon it at a later time. Anybody got anything for that? I know y'all more than likely seen it or planning to see it.
I got to see it. I can't wait to see that.
Okay, yeah, so we'll definitely check that out. Issa Rae also got a new show that's going to be coming on HBO Max. It's going to be executive produced by the City Girls, and it's called Rap Shit. So waiting to check that one out. And then, oh, god damn it, Pam and Gina. Y'all seen that? They got a TV show, a talk show coming out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Tashina and, what was her name? How did I just forget it? What's Gina's real name? How is it escaping me like that?
That's
Tashina
crazy.
I'm
I'm
over calling this lady Gina. Tashina and Tisha. That's what it is.
Tisha
Tisha
Arnold.
Campbell.
Yeah,
Tisha
Tisha
Campbell.
Campbell.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah. They teamed up for a new talk show. It's called Tisha and Tina Have Issues. Lifelong best friends. Have a new project in the works that'll finally place them back on screen together since their days as Gina and Pam on the iconic TV series Martin. According to recent reports, Tisha Campbell and Tashina Arnold are teaming up for a brand new talk show that was created around their close friendship and neutral chemistry. So I love both of them. You know, they was something that I grew up on the stable. I watched Martin growing up. I love both of them. Pam was my boo thing. You couldn't tell me she
Gina's
wasn't
my
fine.
girl too.
Boy,
Gina was my girl.
you better cut it out when she hears it.
Yeah, they sleeping on Pam.
No, Pam was that deal.
She was fine.
It was funny because like even how she was like supposed to be the butt of all the jokes and everything. Like
She had good comebacks.
Man,
her
look,
comebacks was
Pam was really
strong.
fun. She
For
was
real.
funny. Everything. So
I love her.
I don't see a debut date for it as of yet. Let me see here if they got a specific date yet. Entertainment Tonight reported this. They said Tisha Campbell and Tashina Arnold have been friends since they were teenagers. They became legends when they started the sitcom Martin for 5 seasons. I do not see a date, so we don't have a date yet as to when this is coming. So we're gonna just keep close attention to it.
They was talking about doing Martin show.
Each episode of the series will be hosted by Tisha and
if I would watch
Tashina,
that.
filmed from their
You seen when they were
homes,
talking about it though, right?
and will welcome a celebrity or public figure for an intimate and candid discussion. The twist is they'll be joined by one of their closest or oldest friends or confidants who can help provide a fresh perspective and inside accounts as they discuss everything from never before heard stories. So we'll see what that was going to be about when we get a date for it that dropped. New music, Phife Dawg, rest in peace to legend Phife Dawg. His posthumous record dropped, Nutshell Part 2, featuring Busta Rhymes and Redman. If you ain't checked that out, check it out. Again, our vibe of the week was Nipsey Hussle and Jay-Z's new record, which is called What It Feels Like. Check that out. One that I'm fucking with heavy right now, we say Black. I think he don't like that. Six Slack.
Six Slack?
Yeah, Six
I
Slack.
love him.
Him and Lil TJ got a record that's called
him.
My Phone. They got off on that motherfucker.
He is amazing.
They dropped it on. They dropped it Friday, but they got off on that motherfucker. I like that. And then Meg, Ariana, and Doja Cat, racist ass, got a new song too. So, well, you thought I wasn't? I was gonna let that shit slide. Big headed, no edge having ass motherfucker.
Wow.
You rubbing your feet for motherfuckers talking about some nigga. I saw your little clips, bitch.
Wow.
Is it a good record? You check the
What?
record out?
I need water.
Wow.
So you know what it is, y'all? I'm going to just tell you. You know what it is?
Wow.
If I seem a little edgier today in today's episode, I have to apologize, people. I have not smoked weed in about an hour now. So
Wow.
It's been a long.
Woo! I'm a little on edge, goddammit.
It's been a long day.
A little on edge.
Roll up.
Man.
You know I don't know how to roll.
Oh, my God.
That is not one of my many talents.
I want to shout out 85 too.
Hold
Though.
on, hold on before I forget. The Bust It remix dropped.
Hey, yes.
That motherfucker go and it got Travis Scott on it.
Yes,
Oh, no
yes.
Yeah,
When
on the remix. So
they
more
blew
likely
that
gonna
up
hold
so
on.
that's
cold
gonna
on
go crazy.
TikTok.
Shout out Travis
I've
Scott.
seen so many busted challenges. I was like, yes, you are. Yes, lady,
They
you
got
are
the TikTok on lock.
amazing.
Yeah, for
Yes.
real. I was gonna say I want to shout out 85 for getting another sports pick right again.
Oh
Man,
yeah,
motherfucker.
nigga, he 2-0 right now with the
2-0
predictions since we started the show.
He took
done got
old
them
man
both right.
Brady and he got it right, man. So
Yeah,
yeah,
he done
you
got
did
him
right.
right.
Hey, I seen that.
Shout
That
out
was
to
a
Tom
beat
Brady
down.
on number 7.
Wasn't it?
They didn't have to do my boy like that,
it-
man. They had him running for his life,
Man.
man.
Hey man, that shit build character, man.
Hey, that 500 million
I'm
bill
serious.
character.
He
so.
done been there already before. He done tasted both. He done tasted the mountaintop and he done tasted the
Yeah.
dirt. That builds character.
It
Tom
does.
Brady got a couple more years. We know he gonna still be good. But it's Patrick Mahomes' league when Tom Brady.
Man,
go.
the way Brady
That's
look,
gonna
man,
be the
he might
people
go to
between him and Lamar Jackson. I think Lamar Jackson is gonna come on strong. Pause. But I think between him and Mahomes, those are gonna be the two future quarterbacks of the NFL, like who you have to watch for when
You know who I like,
Brady
though?
does hang it up and say he's done.
I like Watson though. I think Watson.
I
gonna
like
be the
Deshaun
one.
Watson
I
too.
think he's gonna be the one.
But I think Mahomes is like, I think he's something different.
Yeah.
Even this particular game, like I know people was like, I don't want to give him excuses. I'm not giving him excuses. But even the passes where he was, he fell short. The highlight replays I've seen and stuff where he's getting tripped up on the foot and he's on his way to the ground. This dude is still throwing on the way down.
Man,
Perfect passes, putting them right here to the players. So
he was getting hit every
he was,
possession, bro.
but
Like,
that's why I said it wasn't. He
you gotta
did
win up front first.
as
though.
a
The line get them dirty.
team. They just all didn't show up. That's really what it was. I'm not gonna put it no false specificity on
Scheme,
it.
That O-line was not there.
But they
Yeah,
they
it
didn't
all
show
start
up.
with the line, man. I know the pretty stuff is the receivers and throwing the ball, but if you ain't got nobody blocking, you getting hit every play.
Very true.
You know, you can't do nothing.
It makes you angry.
They didn't run the ball. That's what made me mad. Just run
they
the
should have
ball.
ran the ball more.
Go back old school. I know y'all can pass, but dang, come on. My man's getting his head tore off out here.
This
Sure, he be back next year.
this bitch ass nigga Austin Chang.
Wow. That's how you go open that?
That's how I got to open it.
Wow.
Michigan GOP
you go
hopeful
like that.
Austin Chang, a black Army veteran and businessman, and Governor Gretchen Whitmer's first Republican challenger, announced that if elected, he will abolish Black History Month in favor of American History Month.
Oh
He
my
said
God.
Black History Month is offensive
Oh
and it's
my
quite
God.
frankly unfair. I will cancel Black History Month in Michigan. It's offensive, unfair, and I think maybe illegal. Americans from all backgrounds deserve a revered history. I'll declare American History Month.
Like, what are we doing?
Listen to me.
bruh?
Austin Chang of Michigan. Let me look right in the camera here. Austin Chang of Michigan. Austin Chang of Michigan, of the GOP, who is running under a Republican ticket for governor. Nigga, your mother is disappointed in you. You're going to abolish Black History Month that your ancestors and your mother and them had to fight for just for the recognition of shit that we built in this country after being slaves for 400 years. And because you're running for the governor of a city or one state, you would abolish an entire month dedicated to giving those people their flowers who were denied them for so long for everything that we've attributed to this society.
What is that a
I kind of feel like you're one of them. You know what I mean? Like a Daniel Cameron ass nigga. You more than likely are. I've never seen your wife, but I'm sure I know what she looks like. I can probably gauge it. You're a bitch ass nigga. And people in Michigan, Detroit, Flint, remember they fucked up y'all water and all that shit? That was the Republicans. So I know we don't like voting and all that shit in our communities, but he's a bitch ass nigga. Vote that bitch ass nigga up out of there so that he can't never pass no laws for nobody or take nothing from people that look like him, since he don't respect himself enough to not do stupid shit or say stupid shit with a platform that's that high up in politics.
Like, what are you trying to
So
achieve
again,
by
Mr.
even-
Chang,
that's
fuck you,
ridiculous,
buddy.
man. For real. 2 of them.
Facts.
You worried about abolishing motherfucking Black History Month, but meanwhile, the fucking bitch ass little Kyle Rittenhouse who had went on the run after murdering the 2 people at the anti-protest rally, he'd have been apprehended and they still let him stay out on bail. He tried to run. They caught him and still let him stay out on bail. But you think the problem is Black History Month?
That's what you come with.
I hope this is your ceiling in politics for as far as you plan to go, because you sound already too stupid to ever run as a president.
You said what state was this?
This is Michigan.
And
I thought it was Florida when I read it. No offense, Florida, but y'all like the fucking stepchild of this country. You niggas be like...
All the craziness come from Florida.
Yeah, like it's every time some weird shit happen, we always stop reading the story when they say... Florida, man. Oh, no, we got it. We got it. We
already know it's something wild.
I think they do that on purpose.
It's some shit in y'all motherfucking water, bro.
They make Florida.
But they let him, a judge ruled that dude could stay out on bail, man. Like, 18 years old right now. Like, it's motherfuckers protesting for this dude with T-shirts on talking about free him.
You should have known there was going to be something during that era with the boy who ran off the whole family. The affluent. He was affluent.
Oh, affluent, yeah.
Yeah.
Listen.
Man, there's some crazy.
I was doing time and was like, what?
In this country, it just depends. I think it just depends, man, on social class and complexion.
I'm like, you could be too rich to understand, but you can't be too broke to understand.
I mean, what's the one little bitch ass dude's name? We need to never forget his name. We should put him on T-shirts. The dude who raped the girl behind the dumpster when she was passed out drunk at college.
The dude from Stanford.
And it was recorded and everything. And they gave this motherfucker 3 months in jail. He only did like 15 days, and they let him come out. And he didn't have to register as a sex offender.
Oh, wow.
Because a judge deemed that it wouldn't be beneficial to him. It would hurt his future.
And the judge was an alumni from Stanford, and the dude went to Stanford. You know what I mean? So that just
they probably pledged.
That just show you what the privilege, man.
That was a pledge. That was, all right, brother, I got you.
That's exactly.
That's all I had, goddamn it.
Must be. You gonna say to that?
For real.
Having someone who understands
so he could have came out in front of his house with the gun. It would have been all right.
Right? Tapped on the window.
He did
all the windows.
He could have shot the tires.
He could have Swiss cheese them all. Yes. He could have Swiss cheese them all.
No, so that's what the fuck he was talking about. Meanwhile, gold medalist, some nigga named Cleet Keller, has been indicted on 7 charges for his involvement in the Capitol riots. I couldn't even tell you what sport. For sure. That's why I didn't even do no further than that. I'm like, a gold medalist. Nigga, I'm not even finna look you up and give you no credibility. You done won gold medals and you ain't smart enough to not go and storm and riot a Capitol building.
He felt strongly about that.
The guy that was the swimmer that got caught up in Brazil. Is that the same dude?
No, that's not him.
Because I remember they was talking about he was supposed to be in that.
No, that's not. I know who you're talking about. That's not him.
You know what I'm talking about, though.
Yeah, that's not him.
Yeah, I remember them saying he was in it. But that's crazy. You're a gold medalist and you storming the Capitol.
They got 7 charges for his involvement.
Let's see how much.
Oh, one thing I
probation.
did miss on
ankle monitor.
No, he's not gonna get an ankle monitor. That's too high.
No, that's too much.
He's gonna get.
He gonna get.
We're gonna check on you for a couple of months.
He gonna get probably like 10 hours of community.
Go to therapy. I don't know. They're gonna give us something simple.
He gonna get like a Zoom counselor meeting. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a motherfucker on the other side with like some Dockers and a turtleneck cardigan talking about some. Now, Cleet, why did you do that? You can talk to me. I'm on your side.
They cheated Trump.
They did, but come on, it's us. Come on. That's how they do shit.
Just
think things.
One thing I missed over, I wanted to touch on too. That was in the new movies and shows. Y'all remember the movie The Best Man, right? Morris Chestnut.
Yes.
All right, so The Best Man has a limited series with the original cast in the works.
What?
Yep. All the original actors. According to reports, a limited series run of The Best Man is now in the works. The original cast from the movies are set to all return, including Morris Chestnut, Melissa D'Souza, Taye Diggs, and Regina Hall, Terrence Howard, Sanaa Lathan, Nia Long, and Harold Perrineau. Monica Calhoun, whose character died in the sequel. The Best Holiday will be the only one that will not return.
Man, that's gonna be dope. I can't wait to see that because I remember like Morris Chestnut and Taye Diggs. They used to be in all the good black movies and stuff.
I'm like,
you know
sometimes
you
just need to let things be nostalgic.
You know, with the reboots.
Like, I'm not like Martin. Don't do that. Like, leave it alone. It was you were at your
classic,
peak.
Right.
Leave it at.
Yeah,
alone.
I think certain
Fresh
stuff.
Prince, like when they did Full House, I was like, why did you?
But you know what? Sometimes it turns out.
Sometimes
it turns out good because I didn't want to see Bad Boys 3 at first. I was like, oh, they old. This ain't gonna be.
I think
and
it
was a
on the
dope movie. It was really good.
Like, did you ever mention Coming to America?
The trailer came out.
I'm like, it just chronologically messes with me. I'm like, ugh.
shouldn't do it.
No, I'm like.
I think
the people at the shop should be dead. Like you're like the whole storyline.
They look the same.
You had a baby, like you was chasing her in the first movie.
I think depending
Right.
on the storyline,
you had a baby.
Yeah, when did you have?
When did you have time?
I think depending on the storyline, the certain films can work. Like I'm not a proponent of classic films being remade. Like if you remake Scarface, I don't want to see that shit.
The first time was harsh.
I was disgusted with Belly 2.
Oh, that's not a real movie. Don't
I didn't even watch
Wow,
that.
did he look in the straight into the camera?
When Game pulled out the gun and that shit was
I was
animated.
disgusted with Belly 2.
Wait, do you know what I was
didn't
really
even get
sad
through the
about?
whole
You know,
movie.
I was disgusted
we're trying to change the subject.
with
Listen,
Belly 2.
With the-
I know, no, we're going to stay here. Fuck that.
Oh,
Look,
God.
the world,
Okay.
If I got a podcast now, you all going to hear my
Let
goddamn
Belly,
disgust.
let Belly 2 live.
Who
man.
the fuck?
Can we, all I
Shout
want
out
to know,
Killer
you
Season
know
2.
what I'm really sad
Killer
about?
Season.
You know what I'm really sad about?
Killer.
Belly
Going
2.
back- No, going back to
Belly 2.
Coming to America too.
Did you not see
I
Game
wanted
in
to
Belly
know-
2?
I wanted to know
I
did
don't
the
think
sister
nobody's seen
ever?
that.
I wanted to know if the sister ever stopped being a ratchet.
Which one?
What?
Belly 2?
Come
No.
on.
What? Which one?
You talking about Keisha?
From Coming to America, the
Smoking
sister.
on Keisha.
I
told
wanted
you.
because
See, if
I wanted her
Like
because they
Keisha.
didn't bring her back.
You know what
so
I
I
would've
wanted to
did?
know, like, did she stay a ratchet? Did she
You
ever
know-
get
They
married?
know-
might show her.
You know what I
No,
would've
she's
did?
not in the movie.
You know
Might
what?
talk about
See,
it.
Might talk about
you
it.
know what I would have did if I was them, because that's just niggas in their creative process, right? You know what her role would have been from the end of the first Coming to America movie, where if she come back in the second one,
What's that?
she married the nigga that her sister left, the rich nigga, because that's all the type
That's
of
what
person
I
she
was.
was.
She
Oh,
was. She was
the
kind of
dude.
ratchet.
Yeah.
Remember at the end, what's the last thing she said when the nigga stood there, came in and looked
She was
like,
like, well.
he came in looked like a sad ass puppy
All
and said,
heartbroken and shit.
Lisa dumped me.
Right.
And she was like,
Yeah.
oh, first thing we gotta do is get you out of these wet clothes.
Yep,
That
that's
nigga
true.
family was rich.
Yeah.
So if you look at the movie from that point, he probably tapped that night because
Yeah.
Eddie left to go after Lisa. She was
He
gone.
probably got with her after
So I
that.
would have
That's
just
true.
linked them. Like I would have had to make it funny. Years later, they
Yeah.
pop up and it's like, you see them at the family. You go to your
Right.
sister's house and open the door, and you walk in there, and she walking her sister through the house, and this nigga Daryl come from walking out the back with that same Jerry curl. Hey, Lisa. And
With the
nigga,
same Jerry.
same Jerry curl.
I was
20, 30 years later.
30 years
Nigga,
later.
Okay, what was what's the lady that Too Tall? He Eddie Murphy had a baby in the new one with Too Tall, the comedian lady.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's
so
what Rotimi's
that's the
mom was supposed
mom,
to be?
and I'm like,
Was
you know,
was she one of the ones from the?
No, she's not Rotimi mama. It's his other son that he finds or whatever in New
Yes.
York. Rotimi.
So the kid, that come. I'm guessing that comes out of like a drunken one night stand.
Yes.
When him and Simi went to that bar, it's gonna be
Something
one of
like
them.
oh,
Yeah.
because I was like, this
You know
doesn't
what it
make
was like?
sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. It was not connecting to me. I
Hey,
was
he
like,
was
where
in
the-
New York for a while.
No, he
man.
told me. He said-
but he was chasing her the whole storyline.
Maybe
But
they
if
just
he
didn't show
got
that
listen,
part,
if
you
he
know?
got drunk that night, they didn't show everything. They went out looking for girls before he ended up with her.
Yeah.
So if him and Simi, they could have ran a train on one of them things. They had some girls in there that was on some wild shit. They had some twins that was like, my name is E.
Right.
All the DJs want to feel my breast.
For real.
Favorite part of the movie.
Like they had some crazy. That motherfucker was like the one female. It'd be funny as fuck if it was her, the one that was sitting there with the toothpick and looked at both of them and was like, "I'm into the group thing."
Yeah.
And that nigga Simi said,
Yeah.
"Yeah, like it's gonna
That
be
could
one
be
of them,
it. That
or
could
it's
be
gonna
it.
be Arsenio Hall character.
That one.
I want to tear you apart, and your little friend too."
He was like,
y'all, right.
he took the biggest gulp too. Like,
Yeah, that nigga, he killed that whole lip. No, see, that's why he might have ended up hitting that one.
That was it.
He got scared, he rushed it, drunk and said, next thing you know, she walking him out the club talking about, no, I got him, hand over his arm. And his
Leslie,
ass
yeah.
crack showing. I got him,
That's when it happened.
I got him.
Saying.
I mean, everybody jumped into that cast. They was like, coming to America too. I'm in.
Man, you get on that, you know.
And
you
Rick
good.
Ross, shout out to Rick Ross because it was a film. They did filming at his house.
Oh yeah, they paid him for that. Yeah, that's real.
The filming was nice.
It's a nice house.
This guy's a great big phony. Big fat phony.
He's a big fat
That
phony.
The house is nice.
It's Holyfield house. We're gonna get at the Holyfield.
Oh, okay, well,
That's right.
I like the house.
Big fat phony.
Hey. Ross made him some money on that. You know,
He
they gave him
did. Did a
bag.
cameo in
They
there
gave him
and
a
all
bag.
kinds of stuff.
He's made a lot of money
For real.
off of people.
True that.
A lot of it.
True that.
What else we gonna round about to? It was something I wanted to touch on. I know it wasn't a topic. It was something else with Charlamagne. I went over his mental health thing, but he also has a deal with he partnered with AT&T. AT&T influencers. AT&T in the spirit of Black History Month to uplift and pay homage to the people who continue to propel our culture forward. Charlamagne has been selected as one of those people, and he's taking the opportunity to shout out Black future makers, including King James, Her Music Official, and even more importantly, the 6 essential workers and everyday heroes who've put so much on the line for them all over the past year. He said they're shining lights to the communities, and they give examples of what it means to dream black. You can nominate yourself to be an AT&T future maker and earn $10,000 reward by telling us why using AT&T Black Future Maker and Dream in Black and tagging them. So this dude's all over the place, man. Like I said, shout out to Charlamagne, man. This dude just will not stop. He keeps evolving, and I love the way he's evolving. It's all in a positive direction. The things that he's representing and discussing and putting his time and effort into. And then Game said he held the West down for 10 years, Dolo, when he dropped. All right, y'all, that's been episode 4.
Damn.
I'm just bullshit. I'm fucking around.
Game like
I'm
that?
fucking around. Now, Game definitely held it down. Now, niggas be trying to play him, not give him all his credit. Game got classic. He brought the West back for sure. He got a classic album, but niggas still won't give Game his credit. You know,
super underrated.
He's not my type of rapper, but he is.
I'm just talking about music.
He's in the industry.
I'm just talking about music. I know there's other stuff against him and allegations that out there. I don't know about any of those things personally. I haven't followed those cases well enough to know anything to speak on them. So I'm just speaking on what he's talking about specific to this situation.
I never heard him spit a bad bar. Like, you know,
I'm not gonna go that far.
I was gonna say,
I'm not gonna go that far.
You heard him spit whack like a whack verse? I never heard him spit a whack verse.
I'm not gonna go that far.
Game got classic. He got some classic.
I'll give you your eyes.
Game's super talented.
Yeah.
Like I said, big up to Game, man.
Shout out to him. For real.
I think we pretty much hit on everything. Like I said, it was a slow week, man. It wasn't too much that even cracked off. The biggest story was Gorilla Glue.
Leave her alone.
Why did you do that?
I think he's trying to get a Valentine's date with her.
Yeah, he probably does. If you're watching this, or if somebody you know is watching this, please give him a shout out.
Long as I don't
have them follow us.
Long as I don't have to pay for the weave.
On YKTV.
Smoking on that Gorilla Glue tonight.
I got some upstairs.
Subscribe, please.
See,
thumbs up and share.
That glue company try to sue the weed people that grow it.
But he might be looking
they got
for
a whole pack.
As long as you got your edges, he was worried about that. That was the one
paid.
thing he was worried about. So he was worried in essence. He was worried about you. So please
she got
hit
her
us
edges.
up.
She got her bag. She got the bend. She finna pull up and get.
I will say
on a roll.
You have way more followers than me. Follow me, Self-Made Mel, SELF period, MADE period, MEL. Follow my co-host T-Lee the Don, 85 Rialto, Curbside Cow, quiet as a church mouse today.
You getting them
Miss
Valentine's
Jackson,
Day.
would you like to give your Instagram out in the microphone?
Yes, you can follow me at Candy J.
She's so talkative
today. Candy Jack. Actually, I changed it. I forgot.
She's so talkative today.
Right.
I had coffee.
She said,
I had coffee.
Look, y'all.
I wanted a smoothie, but I got coffee.
She paused first and said,
y'all didn't get a lick.
Miss Jackson, if you're nasty.
It's at Candy Jack.
All right.
There you go.
Chris, you want to give out your Instagram while we in here? You good? You want me to shout you out? Come on, grab that microphone.
Yeah, grab the
Let
mic.
Chris plug himself.
Follow me at Christian Yee _.
Christian Yee _, ladies and gentlemen. If you need photography, videos done, we talking about one of the premier photographers in Los Angeles. Make sure y'all follow him. So check us out. Follow us on our social media pages. Follow us at YKTV. This has been episode 4. Till next time, you know the vibes, man.
You know the vibes.
Let's get it.